Tony Wakeham was born in Placentia, Newfoundland and Labrador. Tony's passion for his province and its people run deep. First and foremost, Tony and his wife Patricia are proud to call Kippens their home on the province's west coast. Tony and Patricia are parents to Stephanie and Christopher, as well as proud grandparents to Nico, Henry, and Emma. Tony has worked all over this island, primarily in healthcare, spending 10 years in finance at the Central Newfoundland Regional Hospital, along with his wife Pat, as well as CEO of Lab Grenfell. Tony holds a degree in economics from Memorial University. He has spent most of his adult life coaching and promoting basketball in the province. I give you now a retrospect of election 2025 and the 16th Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador and the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party, Tony Wakeham.
And why do I think I'm the best leader for the job? For some of the reasons that Susan pointed out. I come from a wide variety of different backgrounds. I've lived and worked all over this province of ours, from the East Coast to Central to the West Coast to the northern parts of it. And I've seen and met with lots of great people. And that's one of the advantages, I guess, of moving around so much, you know, when you're in your career. And I've been very fortunate to be able to do it all while living here in the province. But, you know, you meet a lot of exceptional people along the way, and there's a lot of them here in this room that I've met and in my 10 years here, and I'm really glad to be back. But to me, a leader has to be about someone who could build that team. I've been leading since all my life, whether it was on the basketball floor, whether it was in the boardroom, or whether it was at work. I've been that leader. I've been able to bring teams together. I've been part of great teams. I know what it is and what's needed, and it simply can't be about the leader. If we're really going to have an impact in the next election in 2019 and knock off the Liberal Party, we're going to need a team to do it. I'll tell you a quick story about a time I was with Basketball Canada. Excuse me, and I interviewed Uwe Brown. Uwe Brown was a former NBA coach, and he's currently a commentator on NBA games now. And we interviewed him to be the head coach of our national team. At the time, we had the coach had retired, and we were looking for a new one. And when we went in the interview process, he simply looked at us. It wasn't about us interviewing him; it was him interviewing us. And he looked and he said, "Who do you have?" That was the only thing he was concerned about. It wasn't about the salary, it wasn't about the length of the contract. He said, "Who do you have?" He wanted to know what players did Canada have available to them that could represent Canada in qualifying for the Olympics. Because he was not interested in coaching if we didn't have the players. And so, in a nice, polite way, he knew everybody we had. He knew every kid that was playing in the NCAA at the time. In a nice, polite way, he turned us down. But what I'm saying that for is because while the leader is critical, or the coach is critical, it becomes important that that team that's on the floor, or that's in every single district, those are the keys to winning the election. So yes, the leader has to lead, but in order to take back this government, we're going to need to identify people who are willing to step up and say, yes, we can. And that means finding another 39 people besides myself who who are willing to do that. And no, it's not about, well, they're going to automatically get re-elected. They only automatically get re-elected if we allow that to happen. But they have enough, I guess, said one thing, done another, and it's time for us to say enough's enough, and to give them an alternative, to give the people of the province an alternative. So that's why, I ran. That's why I think I'm the best candidate. I will build those teams. I will make my government about people. When we talk about safer communities, all of us at one point in time know that we used to live in a place where once you watched crime on TV and you went down the road to see a family doctor. Now we see crime in our communities, and for many of us, you have to watch a doctor on a TV screen. It's time to fix that, and that's why we're going to reinvest in our police force. We're going to hire 46 more police officers, already RCMP officers, RNC officers. We're going to also, though, recognize that many people have challenges with mental health and addictions. And that's why we're going to expand to make sure we have more mobile health crises teams in our province to help people who find themselves in situations where the first responder shouldn't necessarily be a police officer. It should be part of a team that can help those individuals. And that's why we're making that investment there. Those are all some of the things that we have highlighted. There's many more that we plan on doing.
It's been quite a time, guys. It's been the past couple weeks has been a whirlwind. We put in a lot of work. I want to thank every volunteer out there for everything they've done. It means a lot to our party. This isn't necessarily the time for the PCs or the Liberals. This is the time for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. And that's exactly the message that we're going to put out here today. Before I introduce the next gentleman, I want to tell everybody exactly the kind of man he is. Tony Wakeham has been there for our party, for myself, I know for the past 6.5 years. And when you need Tony Wakeham, you get Tony Wakeham. You get his undivided attention. I watched the man sit down for up to an hour and a half, 2 hours with one constituent, with one issue, no cameras around. And when you look into his eyes, you know he cares. And this is what we need to represent Newfoundland and Labrador moving forward. And I can tell you what, we're going to have him right here along with the rest of the crew. So thank you very much, Tony, for everything you've done for us in the past 6 years. So without further ado, it is my privilege, my duty, my pleasure to introduce my friend, my leader, my mentor, the next Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador, Tony Wakeham.
where life is affordable, where healthcare is accessible, where no opportunity is left untapped, where nobody is left behind, where our communities feel safe to live in. And that is the dream that we have as the PC Party in Newfoundland and Labrador. The dream that all of you share. The dream that the people of Newfoundland and Labrador share. We want a province where people want to come to, not simply come from. And a province where people want to live, not leave. Together, with your support, we can make that happen. On October 14th, vote for change. Vote for the PC Party, and vote for a PC government for all of us. Thank you. More than 2 years for an MRI. So what are we going to do about it? Over 8,000 people on a wait list. So we're going to install new MRIs right across the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, including one right here in Grand Falls-Windsor. reception, and it's so good to have fellow members of the House of Assembly and fellow candidates representing the PC Party of Newfoundland and Labrador. Chris, who just did the wonderful introduction, Lynn, of course, Lynn, Mark, all here, and our former member. Hey, pleasure to be here. And every time I come here, back to here, I call it coming back home to Grand Falls-Windsor, because I lived here for 10 years. I worked right here in Grand Falls-Windsor for 10 years at the hospital here. I raised my kids here. So it's always indeed a pleasure to come back here and see so many friends and people that I work with, people that I socialize with, and even in this building I have fond memories of being here. So it's always good to do that. But it's also great that we have these outstanding PC candidates here with us today, who along with the rest of our PC candidates are on a drive to victory. And we are here to drive a victory. Why? Because we'll drive the economy of Newfoundland and Labrador. We're here to deliver lower taxes, better health care, and safer communities for all of us. We're also going to make sure that we do a better job of recruiting health professionals, of making sure that we actually recruit them and keep them here. And that's why we're going to turn around and offer, when you enter your program, if you're a medical, you enter a medical student program, any of our medical programs in our province, you go to school, we will offer you a full-time job when you enter the program, not when you exit the program. We want to make sure that our people stay here by working with them, by developing relationships with them, by talking to them as they go through the program. That's how we will keep people here. That's how we'll recruit people here. And that's how we'll retain people here. Because if you want to fix healthcare, go talk to the people that work in it. They'll give you the solutions you need. And that's exactly what I intend to do. Yeah. Need to be looked at. Thresholds for our seniors who are missing out on programs because the thresholds haven't been increased in more than 10 years. This is the type of commitment we're making to the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, because we believe in making sure that we first help you balance your budgets, and then I'll focus on balancing the provincial budget. Wow, what a crowd, what a reception, and it's so good to have fellow members of the House of Assembly and fellow candidates representing the PC party in Newfoundland and Labrador. Chris, who just did the wonderful introduction, Lynn, of course, Lynn, Mark, all here, and our former member. Pleasure to be here. And every time I come here, I call it coming back home, Grand Falls-Windsor, because I lived here for 10 years. I worked right here in Grand Falls-Windsor for 10 years at the hospital here. I raised my kids here. So it's always indeed a pleasure to come back here and see so many friends and people that I work with, people that I socialize with, and even in this building I have fond memories of it here. So it's always good to do that. But it's also great that we have these outstanding PC candidates here with us today, who along with the rest of our PC candidates are on a drive to victory. And we are here to drive victory. Why? Because we're to drive the economy of Newfoundland and Labrador. We're here to deliver lower taxes, better health care, and safer communities for all of us. Yeah. And I also would say to you, when it comes to any deal with Quebec, I will not rubber stamp a bad deal that sends the benefits of Newfoundland and Labrador's resources to Quebec for another 50 years. Too many people have raised too many concerns about the current deal, and yet the government refuses to listen. And the only people that are out there talking about how good this deal is the actual same people who negotiated. All you have to do is go look at the Quebec media. You know, I've said people are dancing in the streets, and the news media in Quebec are saying, shh, don't let the Newfoundlanders and Labradorians know how good the deal is for Quebec. You know, keep it down. This is the type of thing. But yet, despite all of that, despite all the concerns raised by many, many people, the Liberal government refuses to send it to an independent review. That's what we've been asking for the last 10 months. And if it had to be done back when we first started asking for this, it could have been completed by now, long before this election was ever called. But no, instead, they're full speed ahead, rushing to make a deal with Quebec. As I had said before, I will not be rushed. I will make sure that we will send it to an independent review. And depending upon the results of that independent review, we will renegotiate the terms of that deal. And if then we turn around, we'll bring it to the House of Assembly, and we'll make sure, though, that the people of Newfoundland and Labrador will have their say, will be able to vote on whether or not they're going to vote on the future of Newfoundland and Labrador for the next 50 years, not 40.